6:15, time now to say good morning to Mike Eppel, of course, at City News 680 with the latest in business news. Good morning, Mike.
Hello there. Good morning, Tammy. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so nice to see you when it's like light outside, because this is the first time I've been in here chatting with you, and it's been like normally it's dark. Oh, you're in the basement. I'm so sorry. I'm rubbing
I have a windowless office.
I'm rubbing it in. I'm so sorry.
Which is great for sound control. Don't get me wrong, but I miss the sunrise.
Live through me vicariously. All right. We'll start off with something that's not looking so sunny. On the markets, things still tanking there.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
It's an abject mess on the equity markets again this morning, Tammy. I'm looking at more selling pressure. We saw a slump yesterday. This rout, what else can you call it at this point when we've got the NASDAQ down 30% from an all-time record high? We're talking about trillions upon trillions of dollars in market value wiped out here in pretty short order when you think about it. How strong everything was through 2021, and then 2022 has been anything but. The TSX hit a record high back in March, not that long ago, and it's down more than 10% from that level. So that puts it into an official correction from market speak. If you're down 20% from your record, that's a bear, and if you're 30%, I don't know what that is. That's just it's terrible, basically.
Awful.
So, look, you've got all sorts of issues right now. Yesterday, it was the U.S. Consumer Price Inflation Index, which was above forecast again, up 8.3%. U.S. prices continue to climb. Today, we'll get wholesale inflation. The global recession talk. People are talking about a recession now. We've gone through tremendous rebound for the global economy from the pandemic lows, but might be facing some resistance here because of very high energy prices. Interest rates are going up. Inflation. At what point do consumers start to balk at higher prices? And consumer spending is such a big underpinning of any economy. If that tips the other way, well, then you've got potentially a stagflation situation where you've got an economy that's struggling, but inflation continuing to build. It's not a good scenario for stocks right now.
Yeah, it's just whiplash there. Disney, though, looking pretty good.
Solid results. The theme parks are packed. Yep. Their streaming service is doing very well, seeing lots of growth, exceeding forecasts, doing much better than actually Netflix. Of course, Netflix, a couple of weeks back had that, red flag, so to speak, for its earnings update. And yet, no, Disney's down this morning 5%. Go figure. It's actually been one of the worst performing stocks in the Dow Jones Industrial Average this year. So that is, again, partly market psychology. They've got political issues in Florida as well with the governor. And, it doesn't matter. It's sometimes it doesn't matter whether you're doing well or not when markets are going up, and kind of the inverse is true when markets are falling.
Right. I know that we're talking about cryptocurrencies going down. I'm going to skip ahead, though, to this one. I kind of spoiled this one for myself. Apple, no longer the world's most valuable company. Who is?
It is not.
Who is? Who's taking over?
It's an energy company. Surprise, surprise.
Right.
The biggest, the best performing sector globally this year has been the energy stocks. And the world's largest and most valuable company now, Saudi Aramco, which was spun off by the Saudi Arabian government not that long ago. It's worth more than Apple, which has dropped to $2.3 trillion in market value. So it's still a huge company, but, Apple at one point was at $3 trillion in the energy sector. This is kind of not dissimilar to what we saw last year when tech stocks were more valuable on the TSX than banks. Mm-hmm. That didn't last very long. So maybe we'll see. We'll see how this, and Apple got rid of, announced the end of the iPod Touch this week.
I know that was the sad news, but you know what? We got to move on. That's it.
I probably still have one in a drawer someplace.
I know I have one. One of those where you rolled it with your thumb. One of those. Yeah, right. I definitely have that one somewhere. Mike, we're out of time this morning, but just quickly, gas prices on the way up again.
Yep, we had a couple of days where it dropped by a full 6 cents over 2 days.
Yep.
This tomorrow morning, this time we're looking at it's going back up, likely 4 cents to almost $1.98 per liter.
All right. Thank you very much, Mike, for that update. Appreciate it. We'll chat with you tomorrow once again. We're heading to break here on BT. After the break, we'll be speaking about education here in the province as we look ahead to Ontario's provincial election. Some of the priorities for voters coming up.